Hello everyone, and once again, welcome to DHK. This lesson is purely an instance of the writing module and does not include new concepts. The writing module can be of many types. Today, you are going to introduce yourself. However, there is a catch. You are supposed to only use the vocabulary and concepts we have covered till L8, and you cannot use any other vocabulary. Before getting into more details of the test, let's cover some vocabulary you need for the lesson. Under nouns, we have die Sprache, meaning language. The plural form Sprachen means languages. Der Sport simply means sport. And the plural form Sporter means sports. Also means so, therefore, or alright, depending on the context and position of use. Note that the German word also has the same spelling as the English word also, but the two words have different meanings. If you want to mean the English also, you say auch. We have already covered auch in a previous lesson, so I hope you already knew that one. Also was actually used in one of the reading passages of L7, but was not added in the vocabulary section of that lesson. Although I made sure that it was explained in the description of the lesson as well as at the beginning of its test, I just wanted to officially add it to your dictionary. The only verb we have today is schreiben. It is also the keyword of this lesson. To know more about keywords, watch our introductory video, and you can also find the registration link in the description of this video. Schreiben means to write. Ich schreibe, du schreibst, sie schreibt, wir schreiben, ihr schreibt, sie schreiben. And that's it for today's vocabulary. Let's start with the writing module. As I said before, you are supposed to introduce yourself in this writing module. Before you start writing, however, you need to understand the rules of this lesson. This writing module is a test of only what you have learned so far. Please do not use vocabulary other than what we have covered till this lesson. If you use new vocabulary in a sentence, you will get 0 points for that sentence. This lesson is not about showing off your German skills, but for us to see how well you follow instructions and how well you are able to write with the restrictions that you have. To avoid any confusion regarding what to include in your introduction, I have prepared 8 questions for you. However, you need to write a paragraph with 9 sentences. You get 1 point for one correct sentence and 0 points if it is incorrect in terms of language, spelling, or order. 9 sentences make up for 9 points. 7 out of 8 questions should be answered in exactly 1 sentence. The remaining 1 question needs to be answered in exactly 2 sentences. That will be a total of 9 sentences. It is up to you which question out of the 8 you would like to answer in 2 sentences and how. The remaining 7 questions have to be answered in exactly 1 sentence. And your last 1 point is for the keyword. Note that the order of the sentences in your paragraph has to be the same order as the questions on the screen, and the 2 sentences of your chosen question have to be together. For example, if you choose to answer question 3 with 2 sentences, both the sentences have to be one after another, after the answer to your second question and before the answer to your fourth question. The second sentence of the third answer cannot be put somewhere in the middle of the questions 5 and 6 or something like that. Let us now see what the questions are. Wie heißt du? Wie alt bist du? Woher kommst du? Hast du Geschwister? Wo wohnst du? Wo arbeitest du or was studierst du? Welche Sprachen sprichst du? Welche Sportart spielst du? Again, just to be clear, you can decide which question out of these you want to answer in 2 sentences. All the rest should be answered in only 1 sentence. Note that question 6 depends on whether you are a student or a working professional. Don't answer both questions. Choose either wo arbeites du or was studierst du, even if both apply to you in real life. Also, except for the first question, wie heißt du, the rest 7 questions from 2 to 8 need not be answered honestly. Feel free to be creative and feel free to be a good liar. But the first question has to be correctly answered because we already know the answer to it. If you get that one wrong, we would assume that you did not understand the question and you may get 0 points. But the other questions can be answered as creatively as possible as long as they are within the vocabulary till L8. As an exception to this vocabulary limit, only proper nouns that you do not know the German word for can be written in English. So for example, if you don't know the word for French, you can simply write French. But if you write football instead of Fußball, you get 0 points because we have already covered that word in our vocabulary. Also, just for your information, you won't have something like this set of questions as reference for your future writing modules. Since this is your first writing exercise, I wanted to make it a little bit easy for you. That'll be all for today. All the best for the test. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. See you in the next class. Tschüss.